Today, let's talk about why it's absolutely impossible for you to advance in your career without sponsors. This is a concept that took me years to fully understand in my own career, and I hope it will be helpful for you as well. So welcome to another coffee break here on my channel From Learning. My name is Heinrich. I'm an ex-McKinsey consultant, ex-CTO, now COO in a tech firm. And I'm excited to share you this concept of sponsorship at work. And let's start with the statement that I'm sure many of you have heard in some way, shape or form before. And this is this: as a professional, if I work hard, I will be recognized. Right? And I challenge you to think about this for a moment. Is this true or is this not true? And probably many of us have the notion that likely to some extent it is true, and I would agree to that as well, though of course it might not be everything. Hard work alone is not everything. And so to unfold this thought a little bit, let's contrast this idea of sponsors with other people that you might think of in your career. And you might have heard of allies. So these are peers, colleagues on eye level with you that just support you along the journey. Of course, this can be impactful for your role as well. Many people talk about mentors. I need a mentor, right? And actually even I myself, likely every day, I receive messages on LinkedIn or via email from people asking me, Heinrich, can you be my mentor? And here, by the way, if this is of interest to you, we actually do offer a From Learning mentorship program where you have the opportunity to work with me and other colleagues of our team on your career. If this is of interest to you, there's a link in the video description where we actually offer free initial consultations where you can talk to us, discuss your career, and we can see if we can actually help you. And so I don't want to downplay the importance and the impact that a mentor can have, though there's something even more important that likely also no one outside of your organization can actually do for you. And this is the idea of a sponsor. And this is what we want to talk about today. And the main differentiation between mentors and sponsors is that mentors talk. Right? With mentors, you can discuss your situation, you receive advice, they share you their perspective on a situation that you face. But sponsors actually do. They do things for you. They enable things for you, open opportunities for you. And so let's unpack that a little bit further. How can sponsors inside your organization actually help you? And then in a moment, we will talk about how to find these sponsors and why even a sponsor might be willing to do that for you. And the first thing that a sponsor can advocate for your promotion, advocate for a pay rise. And this is something I've witnessed over and over again in my career, both on the receiving end of this, as an employee now hoping or waiting for promotion or pay rise, but also on the other hand, being in the leadership position, being part of these committees, being part of these meetings where individual employees in a performance cycle are getting discussed. And all the leadership team asks themselves, whom do we promote? Whom do we give a pay rise? And one of the recurring observations is that in the end of the day, of course, there might be some process in place where the direct manager of that employee provides feedback, makes a recommendation. But what then really moves the needle is whether these more senior people, these senior leaders of the company actually know this person, actually back up this person, actually are convinced that this person is a rock star. And if this is the case, whether they're directly working with this person or not, then you will see these senior partners, C-level leaders, senior managers just stand up and make the case for the promotion, make the case for the raise. And of course, this is very much in your favor. It is about opening up opportunities for you. There's a great high visibility project, a high impact project, and now suddenly something when senior thinks about you and thinks that you might be a great fit for this opportunity. They might be able to make introductions. They might protect you from difficult also political situations that sometimes might arise in such a company, or they might challenge you to more impactful tasks, bigger responsibilities, and the likes. So I hope it's clear how sponsors can be helpful for your career for sure. And this then might beg the question, what type of people might you look out for to then build these types of sponsor relationships with, and where do you find them? And here, as I just already hinted, likely this is not your direct manager. You might not want to reach out to your direct manager for that, and this does not mean that your direct manager is not important, cannot help you, cannot be impactful for you as well. But typically sponsors are more senior than the direct supervisor you're working with. So I encourage you to aim for people not only one level above this direct manager, but ideally 2 levels or even higher above this direct manager. These are the people who are typically on the table when these important decisions are getting made and whom you want to then work with. And you want to be top of mind for them if these types of topics are being discussed. So these are people who are in charge of projects, who control promotions, control budgets. And ideally, these are people where you can already sense that they value your talent, value your capabilities, and this is then a great starting point for such a sponsor relationship. And so let's also immerse ourselves a little bit more into how a typical sponsor might think. Why might a sponsor even be motivated to sponsor you, to open these types of opportunities for you? And what you need to realize, and I'm sure that everyone realizes this in the audience who already is in a people leadership role that requires people leadership responsibility, is that if you're a senior leader, you want to retain, you want to motivate, you want to work with the best talents in your organization. And you realize as this leader, of course, as well, that every employee has goals, every employee has ambitions, and you want to make sure that the top talents in your team, in your organization, are able to fulfill their ambitions in your firm, because otherwise they will leave. And this is, of course, not in your best interest. And this is why you might ask yourself, as the senior leader, who's ready for more responsibility, who has shown in the past that this is a person who might be able to, take a chunk that's maybe even bigger than the current role, and whom you might then set up to lead a bigger project, take up more ownership, take up more initiative, to then position that person potentially for an even bigger role, even bigger career step going forward. Who do you need to retain? What are the people that would really hurt the company if you would lose them, right? Who's the safe bet if there's a difficult, challenging topic at hand? Who's the safe bet if we know that we put this person on this, that the thing will be a success? So these are the questions that people ask themselves. And of course, you want to be the answer to these questions. And you want to make sure that people think of you if these things are coming up. And so let's discuss some more tactical advice on what you can do to indeed attract these sponsors, to build these sponsor relationships. And one advice is for sure to perform at a level above your role. So don't just do what you are being asked to do, but ask yourself, what is actually your direct lead doing? What is your chef doing, right? What is your supervisor doing? And then already try to adopt the behaviors, the way of thinking, way of approaching topics, just like this person is doing it, because this is then what will differentiate you from the rest of the team. Visibility is a topic I talked over and over again also on this channel. I will link above here one of the many videos I already created on this topic. Gain visibility. I will not repeat all the tips I'm shared already in these other videos, but have a look at that if this is unclear to you. You want to make sure that indeed you are in the right rooms, you are exposing yourself to opportunities to talk to these senior leaders. You want to join certain initiatives. Again, more tips on this also in the visibility videos, that these senior leaders meet you, get to know you, know who you are, because this is what will be very important. Make it easy for them, and then they will be likely willing to sponsor you as well. That being said, I also want to make it very clear though that sponsor relationships should always be mutual. There should be mutual value for both sides. Yes, you might be willing to step up, to go the extra mile, put in the extra hours late in the evening, to invest in that relationship, to make it work for your sponsor, to show that you are this person. But then on the other way around, it is your very fair expectation in such a setting that then also the sponsor reciprocates, right? That then the sponsor in the decisive moments also stands up, vouches for you, opens up these opportunities for you, helps you to succeed. And if you after some time realize that this is just a one-way relationship where you just give, but never receive something from this person in return, then this is a fair question for you to just challenge yourself, right? Is this then the right person you want to do this with? Is there maybe another person in the organization where you can build this type of relationship with? Typically, you don't want to have just also one sponsor, but ideally 2 or 3 sponsors in such an organization. Likely more than 2 or 3 will be difficult to maintain. But if your talents are not valued, then of course it's time to think of taking your talents elsewhere. So I hope that makes sense. This idea of sponsorship is just crucial. You will not succeed in the long term in a larger but also small organization if you do not understand this concept and follow up on this. This is my deep conviction based on my own humble experience. And now I'd be super interested to hear about your experiences on that. Feel free to comment. Very interested to see your insights and then have also a discussion with you. If you took any value from this video at all, please destroy the like button and subscribe to stay up to date on all the content. Big thanks to all the channel members. This is Heinrich. See you soon again next weekend.